this game. And let's see what's going to happen as we jump into this best of 5 grand final here in the WardiTV weekly number 3. A bit of a dream final, I think, personally, for myself at least. A non-mirror matchup between two of my favorite players. Yeah, I'm going to fanboy a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Let's do this. We're going to kick things off. We're going to be kicking it off to the top side of the Varney Research Station here for map number 1. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Team Experts ByuN. And down to the south side of the map, the red Protoss player, it is going to be Zest here in this best of 5 grand final. $230 on the line, split between the two players. Let's see how this is going to go. In the meantime, just as we get set up, thank you very much to Larry Dallas, who's just hit us up with the sub as well in the chat. Get some STI hearts in here for Larry Dallas. Welcome to the subs, buddy. Thank you very much for supporting the stream, and yeah, just welcome. Thank you very much for subscribing. Do appreciate it. Let's see those STI hearts, guys. Let's get the love rolling in here today. Back to 180 subs. Boom. The fight continues. We're having a fight right now. We were well above 200 subs. Now we're down at 180. We're going to fight back to 200 subs. It's the dream. We're going to stay at 200. We're going to get there. We're going to stay there. It's been a bit of a, to be fair, the last week or two has been a bit crap because we just haven't had that much to cast. So without too much to cast, it's been a little bit unfortunate. But anyways, let's see how this is going to happen in the next few moments. We're going to be seeing, well, the early setup here from ByuN is going to be the command center first, with a couple of racks as a follow-up here. So command center first from ByuN, going to go into single gas with this couple of racks. I guess an early reactor tech lab for Stimpak, and so on. Also, thank you very much to Locusts13, who's also just hit that Twitch Prime sub. There's some STI hearts in the chat as well, please, for Locust13, and thank you for the support as well. Do you appreciate it? Thank you so much for the love. Subtrain hype. Choo choo. I guess what's the name for like a mini train? Like it could be like a sub bus hype because it's like not. I guess that doesn't really make sense at all. Mini sub train. Thank you very much for the subs, Locust13 and Larry Dallas. Do you appreciate? Alright, game 1 of this best of 5 then. There is the third racks coming in as ByuN just going to look to apply a lot of bio-based pressure throughout the early stages of this game here. Twilight Council now coming down from Zest as well. A robo facility on the way up also. And we're just going to be seeing the initial setup here from Zest being very standard. Really just getting into a position where he's going to be able to build up in a very standard way. He's going to be able to build pretty much what we expect to see. Blink, Robo, maybe a Blink Observers, maybe a Warp Prism, and some other bits and pieces like that. Happy to help the tourney, says Larry Dallas in the chat. Well, you do help the tournament, all of you guys who sub, etc. I mean, the reason I am able to put on events like this and put some money in towards them is because of the fact that you guys are awesome enough to support the stream and to give me enough money to invest into running an extra event to bring you guys more content and stuff like that as well. So, do appreciate it, everyone who does support, so thank you very much. Anyways, again, back to the game. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to talk about. Blink's on the way up, Stim's on the way up. The one thing Zest is going to be very careful of is the early timing from ByuN. Now, it is a Varney Research Station, so actually it's kind of hard to make this timing work as the Terran play on this map. Because when it comes down to this right here, if you attack across, you're going to run up a very narrow ramp before you actually get anywhere useful. So it's actually a bit of a weird map to do this on, because generally he's going to have Stim very early, way before Medivacs already. So he's not really going to be able to utilize his early Stim or anything. As we're going to be seeing that Stim finishing, I mean, not as much as usual. I mean, he could try and pressure in and kill a third base, but there's no third Nexus coming down just yet. As we're going to be seeing this Warp Prism just coming to the right-hand side, lifts up a few units, and is going to be pulling these units up towards the upper right-hand side of the map to drop on down in the natural expansion. And we'll see what's going to happen. So a little bit of a push up here right now. Scan comes in towards the top side. Starport does live, going to land onto that reactor. Factory moves to the side as well. So factory moving over to the right here. A couple more medevacs on the way up currently, and Just going to be seeing those Marines gathering up together in the main base. A few Stalkers coming in as well at the front. So he's going to pressure the front and also going towards the natural expansion. So here we go, Zest, seeing what he can get done. We're going to be starting to unload here. I mean, Stim already done means it's very difficult to do anything really with kind of gateway-based units. And Zest now dropping down the double forge into the Robo Bay as well. Still playing very safe without a third Nexus, not rushing into that at all just yet. As we are just going to be seeing the just a few more. It actually opened a few more Stalkers over here. Lifts up another Adept. Kind of interesting. Not sure why. I guess he walked in a couple of Stalkers and an Adept, and he wanted an extra Adept in this war prison instead of a Stalker. That's what happened, I suppose. Makes sense overall, really. Anyways, ByuN is pushing down the right side of the map. He's going to run into these Stalkers, which do have Blink to utilize. They just trade with some Marines. Nothing too crazy. +1 is finishing now from ByuN. He's also got Combat Shields finishing up as well, and so he is now in this very, very powerful stage of the tournament. Of the event. So, he is now in this very powerful stage of this here. As we're going to be seeing these Marines just gathering up together, moving around, seeing what's up. Stalkers from Zest will push forwards and just going to be coming in, looking to see what else is going on. Trading a little bit there with those few Marines. And Zest just going to be coming in on the right hand side with a couple of Stalkers and an Adept here to see where else he can go. Marines and Marauder, Medevac as well, moving around. And Zest just pulling back a little bit. Again, playing very safely right now. Adding on a couple of extra gates. I say safely. Could even say aggressively. 6 gates before third base with double upgrades kicking in shortly. I mean, it's a bit of both. You know, you could take a third Nexus and begin to expand and all the rest, but you could also just make this a bit of a Colossus-based attack, although I think it's Colossi coming in a bit too late for it to really be kind of a committed attack with Colossi. And I was going to see these Marines and Marauder push down this left-hand side. Stalkers kind of fighting away here, trying to trade. One Stalker blinks behind the rest of these units. The rest of them blinking back now as well. I was going to see this Colossus coming up to being about halfway done. So Colossus is about halfway done right now. A Sentry going to start warping in as well as these Marines, seeing what they can get up to. A little bit of damage onto that Colossus once again, and a few more Zealots going to keep on warping in here. So a few more Zealots keep warping in. You're going to see these Marines and Marauders just moving around. Going to see them starting to stem forwards here. A few Marines from the right-hand side as well as ByuN sets up a big concave to push on forwards with, while Zest runs away into his main base. And, well, actually, ByuN's going to keep on fighting on the low ground despite the 2 Colossi. A few Marines going down now. The Cybercore under fire, though, so a little bit more damage being done. Third Nexus had to be cancelled here by Zest. I mean, ByuN is building up his own third base back at home, so now he's essentially containing the Protoss player in a little bit of a difficult spot here. And we're going to be seeing the units from ByuN coming back up towards the left-hand side. See where you can go from there. You see a couple of Widow Mines setting themselves up as well. One Observer to the right side from Zest also just sat here and kind of keeping an eye out for drops coming down the right-hand side of the map. He starts up his 2-2 upgrades. I mean, that's something, but right now he's only on even upgrades. So Widow Mine is so close to this army. Probably will go off, right, if he has high ground vision. Maybe he's just out of range with that Colossus. Looks like this Colossus leg is, it's kind of funny, like the Colossus isn't standing in range of the Widow Mine, but his leg is arching over the Widow Mine radius. And he's really playing with death there, as we're going to be seeing. Well, Zest again struggling to get towards his third base right now. Still just building, well, he was building Colossi, now he's building an Immortal as he continues to set up into this. Observer coming into place, he can clean out a couple of Widow Mines. And Zest is start moving down this ramp. He has a lot of Zealots, but no charge or anything. And I do find that interesting as well, the fact he hasn't even started charge, for example, as an upgrade here on the Twilight Council, because it could help him out a lot if he's going to keep on building a lot of these Zealots. In fact, you'd almost say that it's going to be almost essential if he's going to have this many Zealots in his army, you know? Units continue to gather up together here. He's going to see a couple of sentries sat over in this position as well, a couple more Adepts too. And a lot of this army from ByuN still attacking down the left-hand side of the map. So they're still attacking down the left here, looking to see where else they can go, what else they can achieve. +2/+2 from Zest is going to be finishing very shortly. +2/+2 from ByuN, also continuing to come on up. And Zest still just gathering these units together, joining everything up right now. And as the Colossi will go to the left-hand side, sees the Marine, which you can pick off here nice and quick. So Marines just go down. I'm just going to be seeing this group of units from ByuN. We're looking to see what else is up as well. Scans on top of these units over here, so has a little bit of a look to see that is going on. So he sees that. More Marines and Marauders still moving down to the bottom left-hand side. More Vikings as well coming into play. These Stalkers from Zest. He's going to try and make you start a bit of an engagement here. ByuN has so many Vikings now as well. That's what these Stalkers are going to try and get rid of. The Zealots are not in the front though, and again the Zealots all trapped behind the army. And I think the biggest issue is, again, they just don't have charge. They're just like slowly waddling forwards towards this. Either way, I guess Zest, for now, he's making something happen here. Still, Force Field's coming down. Where's that charge upgrade? He's making Resonating Glaives on the Twilight Council. Which, I mean, it can work. He's actually blinking forwards. He's getting rid of the Vikings. I don't believe Zest is actually turning this army of ByuN around with no charge and so many Zealots. Like, this is absolutely insane. I don't quite believe he actually just did that here. Zest has made his way into a third Nexus. He's pushed the army of ByuN back. As I'm going to be seeing these units just pulling back towards the third base. Stalkers will take the map. Now, what a crazy little fight there. I mean, he does have 2-2 against 1-1, and that is, that's great and all, but, well, 3-3 starts up from Zest as well. I mean, he's going to try and maintain an advantage. Starts up the fourth Nexus as well. After being delayed from his third so long, he's not going to waste any time going towards the fourth. I mean, his main and natural are beginning to mine out, so he's got to get there soon. Zest still only on 4 gases as well. He'll take this watchtower to find, well, he actually finds the Widow Mine there. And scan comes down, knowing the Observer must be there if he's just killed a Widow Mine. Means that ByuN can pick off that Observer nice and quickly. Stalker's pulling back now towards the bottom right-hand side. Going to be seeing these units gathering up together. A few more Adepts warping in. Marines, Marauders, Medivacs, Vikings all still pushing down the left as we're going to be seeing the Adepts. Mortals, Colossi trying to fight here. Here we go. Going to be seeing Colossi going to go down very quickly. Zest. He's just going to lose those so fast. I mean, Stalkers cannot get rid of the Vikings fast enough here. Gets another shot off. He actually keeps his one Colossus in the back alive. It's again incredible micro from Zest. I can't believe he's really doing this because this game has not looked to be going Zest's way at all. Now he picks off multiple Vikings. I thought it was Terran that was meant to be too good in this matchup. Yet here we are. Here we are with no opportunity at all for ByuN to end this for some reason. Like, Zest just keeps on taking good fights somehow. Like, this is absolutely crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Scan comes down as ByuN's going to see that Zest is only just now taking his 5th and 6th gas. So, extra gas only just now coming in from Zest. This is crazy. Like, I just can't actually believe that Zest is beginning to push ByuN back after the way this game has gone early on. Been absolutely insane as we see Stalkers picking off another Marine down towards the bottom right hand side. I mean, a couple of ghosts coming to the far right as well. 4th base set up from ByuN on the gold. Zest will take an upgrade lead for a little while longer once again as his final set of upgrades do finish for the ground units. ByuN's are only halfway done at this point, so something he has to be a little bit cautious of as these few ghosts will pick off that Zealot, so Zealot goes down. You see these two Liberators from ByuN just gathering together as well. And just starting to get that Liberator counter rolling. A few of you discussing the charge upgrade in the chat and saying it's maybe not necessary. I just feel as though the Zealots without charge, like, just never really do anything. You know, if the Terran just kites back forever, there's never a point where them Zealots are really closing the distance. I don't know. I mean, I can kind of understand the points a couple of you guys are making. It's an interesting one. I just feel as though with so many Zealots, surely charge is a somewhat interesting option to consider. Anyways, we see a lot of Adept shit in here. 14 workers going down and more at the same time. Big fight over on the other side of the map. Big EMPs coming down on a lot of the army. But is there enough for ByuN? You know what? I don't know if there is, honestly, because these units are just keeping on pushing forwards. Immortals in the back. He needs maybe a few more Adepts really to do some tanking. Oh, this is a little bit awkward now. Zest is getting caught all over the place. Stalkers blinking away. Immortals will chew their way through these Marauders nice and quickly if they get the chance to. Vikings landing as well. Zest still up 30-40 supply, but he will lose pretty much his entire army on this side of the map. ByuN, though, is not really mining anymore because he's lost 42 workers. 3rd base mineral line cleaned out as he pulled it into the army. 4th base mineral line cleaned out by the Adepts. ByuN takes a large army supply lead, but he has basically no workers left over. The last thing Zest needs right now is to actually lose an Immortal like this, or he just pick off 2 Vikings in the process, get target down another Marauder as well, so at least getting some value out of this here in the end. A Stalker coming forwards too, trying to poke those Vikings. Disrupt on the way as well. I mean, anything that's going to spell out efficiency for Zest right now would be great. He's got a lot of money in the bank. Zealots are being warped in. Let's see if it's going to be enough with this Disruptor. And, well, I mean, Zest, I don't know, more gateways. He actually needs to get... He's actually only on 6 gates. Look how much money Zest has. He's going to morph in more Zealots right at the front here. Zealots starting to push back a few of these Marauders. More Depths actually warping in now. They're going to try and shade on top of the army as well as Zest begins to push this back. Upgrades are dead. Even a Time Warp coming in, going to force the lift on those units into the Medivacs. You're going to see a blinking forward Stalker trying to make the most out of this, trying to do something about it. As you're going to see one Viking getting picked off, and well, there's +2 shields on the way from Zest. I mean, he's trying to spend his money wherever he can. Extra gateways are going to be vital for him now. And that's one thing he's really just been missing here, to really have enough warp-ins to spend his money. So now he's got the production up. Zest is looking as though he's going to stabilize in a lead here in game number 1. And we've seen these units going up the left-hand side. See what he can... see what those units are going to do. A couple of Zealots running forwards already, ran ahead of the rest. First Disruptor gets shut down. This isn't a good fight for Zest. You know, this is one of those fights where he probably should have tried to back away from a bit earlier. A few deaths from the right-hand side. He's still going to clean this out. Really? Nah, this did not look as though it was going to go Zest's way at all. I mean, I still don't even know if it is going Zest's way. I mean, I think ByuN only just runs out of unity at the end. It's a very close fight. Factory building Widow Mines over here. I mean, I guess why not? ByuN's got a gold base going once again. Income in this game has gone way back into Zest's favor. After honestly, like again, 10 minutes ago, Zest was struggling to take a third base, and it was not looking pretty for him with his opponents setting up that third base too. There's this one fight back here about 5 minutes ago where ByuN lost a lot, and since then, and again, the last fight was kind of very good for ByuN in terms of army, but he did lose a lot of workers at that point as well, and that's worth keeping in mind. Sorry, pressed the wrong button. So that's worth keeping in mind, as we're going to be seeing this Starport still pumping out Liberators and Vikings, a couple of Disruptors still in the mix. Blood Probes backing away from just a couple of Marines behind this mineral line, but they'll get cleaned out now as well, as Zest starts to head over towards the left-hand side. So they're going to come in over to the left here, see what they can get up to. I guess he's going to try and attack into the third base, and actually right now ByuN's army is mostly positioned towards the gold. A few workers going down over there, but he's going to lose a lot over towards the natural expansion in the third base. So here we go, going to be seeing another Marine going down. Disruptor Shot makes the most of its lifetime there and does end up protected on a couple of SCVs. Bless me. Bless me again. Oh my god. Sneezing coming down at the worst possible time right there, as we're going to be seeing these units to the left from Zest. Still just going to be backing away a little bit then. So a few units of Zest backing away. I mean, he's killed off again a few more workers of ByuN. ByuN's still only on 30 SCVs against the 70 probes. A couple of Ghosts trying to lead the charge right now. An Observer still overhead to the top side as well. And this army in far right from Zest is still just looking to rotate around. 10 army supply lead from Zest now. Can he take a fight to shut things down to end this game? War Prism's going to siege up or get into warp in mode. That's going to go down instantly. So War Prism gets caught there. A few SCVs transfer and get picked off as well. Disruptor Shot doesn't connect. It forces the army away and just keeps Zest's army safe for a little bit longer as he charges on through again, picking off more reinforcements. ByuN's just getting picked off a little bit at a time here. Nice dodge away from that Disruptor. Nice split overall. I mean, that next Disruptor's going to go down as well. Sometimes I wonder if it's even worth making Disruptors against ByuN. You know, with a guy like with Micro like this. As here we go, big spread from Zest. He comes in from a few different angles. It's a huge concave for him. Nice force fields as well. Will force the lift up into the Medivacs. Blinking forwards, he's going to try and target down some of those Medivacs. We actually see the Medivac's going to unload that full of units, unloading behind the units already out, protecting from those Stalkers. Makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense indeed, as we're going to be seeing the Stalker's blinking to the right-hand side. Going to try and get rid of this Liberator quickly. There's actually going to be a repair on the Liberator. He needs a little bit more damage. He gets it now, pushing forward still. Liberator sieging up once more. Stalkers and Sentries in the Archon targeting it down as Zealots and Adepts take the fight on the ground. Stalkers from the left-hand side as well, and that will be enough to force out GG. Zest takes game number 1. What a game number 1 of this best of 5-2. Let's do this, guys. There's no point in taking any more time about it. Let's jump into this and bring you guys game number 2. To the bottom right-hand side, our pink Protoss player up a game in this best of 5 final. It is Zest. And he's going to be going up against the red Terran player to the top left-hand side of the map. Guys, give it up. It is ByuN. Just in case, I mean, they've got to, again, guys, please try and keep the chat in English. We do have it, it's an English stream. We try and keep the chat English because of it. I appreciate we don't have a Korean stream today. We couldn't get one lined up, and I know a lot of Korean players or Korean viewers like to watch, but we couldn't get a Korean stream lined up today, so I do apologize for that. But we do try and keep the chat here in English, just to keep it nice and clean, and just because it's more universal for the majority of people who are taking part in the chat. So thank you for that. Thanks for understanding, guys. Do appreciate it. If you can understand, if someone is out there who does speak Korean and English and understands me and wants to tell it to the rest, you're allowed, feel free to kind of send a message to say that. And tell the mods that's what you're saying before they ban you, basically. Otherwise, thank you very much. And let's see what happens here. Zest going to pylon block on the high ground. Interesting startup. He is on double gas and he is on one base. Wow, what a start this is going to be, because you have the proxy barracks as well coming in currently from ByuN. So, going to be setting this up. And we've seen this Reaper just on the way out. So, Reaper on the way out right now. Cybercore is going to be finishing. And now we're going to be seeing the first Adept on the way. So, this is very interesting. Proxy against, well, proxy against a Reaper here. Proxy early. I mean, Mothership Core is on the way. Zest doing some good micro right now to keep this probe alive in the back. Probe does stay alive. Really, really sick so far. As you're going to see the Mothership Core coming in. That will help to defend. Now this pylon stops ByuN from walling off properly here, which means that Zest can maybe get a unit across the map. He could be able to utilize that. We'll see if he sends the Mothership Core across the map. It would be risky with the fact that Reaper's still over here. Actually going to see ByuN saying, hey, you know, if you're going to block my... block stuff on my side of the map, I'm going to block stuff on your side of the map. And he starts to send this barracks forwards to land and just sit on this natural expansion. Two Reapers from ByuN are going to be moving around. They're going to look to jump up in towards the main base. As we are going to be seeing this Mothership Core moving up through the center of the map as well. A couple of SCVs going down. There's actually a Zealot already across the map here. So Zealot picking off 3 SCVs early. Cyclone doing a little bit more damage as well. ByuN is starting to clean this out, but again, some damage done early on. This Adept, is he going to commit in? He is not indeed actually going to commit in. Going to sit towards the overcharge, which is going to be available shortly. And see Stalker here to protect these two, protect from these two Reapers. There's the overcharge. Cyclone nearly goes down. And we'll see that pylon starting to make its way through that supply depot then. Again, this barracks here is a big issue, because that's going to delay Zest for so long. And, well, we're going to see both players continue to one base right now. We're going to see the Reapers hopping up in towards the main. Blink on the way, 2 more gates as well. I mean, to be fair, Zest is sort of forced into this by not being able to expand. Problem is that ByuN will know that Zest is more or less forced into this as well. Even without scouting, he's going to be able to kind of see that, well, Zest has no way to expand, so he has to spend his money somewhere. So he sees these gates. I mean, ByuN can't exactly be too surprised about that right now. I was going to see those Reapers do get cleaned out, but only after 6 worker kills. So Zest trailing by 5 workers at the moment. We're going to see what a tech lab on the factory, so maybe going in towards... I mean, basically a lot of defensive units have been established here by ByuN. A Liberator on the way. Actually going to make a Widow Mine off of the factory, which is interesting. As these Stalkers come down, he is going to start working his way through this racks. He does have the money to build up a Nexus on the natural expansion in a moment or two. So he'll be able to build this Nexus up here and be able to use this in a moment or so. So pop that Nexus down, and again, I guess we kind of question becomes, how aggressive does Zest get in this follow-up? Dark Shrine's about halfway done. At this point, we're going to see the Blink upgrade about 75% of the way done as well. A few more Stalkers continue to warp in, and I'm just going to be seeing the starport landing in the main base. Command Center dropping down here then on the high ground as well. So CC dropping down on the high ground, and Viking also lands. And these couple of Cyclones from ByuN also just collecting up in the main base as well. Second rack's coming down. Yeah, I mean, we see a little bit of a Stalker pressure coming across. There's also going to be Dark Templar available momentarily. I mean, right now, DTs are a bit of an issue for ByuN. I mean, he's about to get an Engineering Bay up. But until now, he's only got 1 scan, right, at a time. So that's kind of, it's kind of expensive to actually just drop that on DTs all the time. So So the engineering bay is somewhat essential. Stalker's not going to blink up there as the Adept does see plenty of units in position. Second orbital again ready. Morph in. No turret building just yet. The first DT will lead the charge forwards. There's the first scan. Now ByuN knows he has to start building up that missile turret. So missile turret on the way. Raven begins to build as well for safety's sake. Next DT will start to move forwards and we'll begin to just have a look to see what's going on. He actually blinks up here, Zest. Not sure if I like this idea. It's very risky, it feels like. DT going to do, well, not really a lot. Zest can blink out to the left-hand side. As this DT just runs out of range of the turret just to try and minimize the, or try and maximize, I suppose, the damage you can get done by forcing another scan. Another DT comes forward. We'll actually force a scan over here. We'll not be able to back away in time. And still there's one DT to the side. Can actually maybe get rid of this tech lab or something. Oh, don't run into the scan. That was a little bit messy. That was a little bit unnecessary as well. But, yeah, DT's actually going to make it out here in the end. So DT makes it out and is going to be able to escape. Alright, so DT escapes. And you're just going to be seeing this orbital going to move on over to the natural expansion. So orbital moving on over towards the natural right here. As we're going to be seeing these few Stalkers, the Adept, a couple of DTs, continue to move down to the bottom right-hand side. Still a few more units just gathering together, and I mean, ByuN, the potential for him here really does lie in a counterattack. His army is very powerful at this point. Not only is there a Raven here and a Medevac, but there's also going to be, you know, a group of Marines, a couple of Cyclones, a couple of tanks. It's all very powerful. The set of units here basically from ByuN right now, so going to start pushing down towards the bottom right-hand side. We see to the far right, Liberator is going to be going in towards the main. See what it can get up to here. Warp Prism moving around as well from Zest, looking for any sort of opportunity as we see, well, again, a group of Stalkers, an Archon and an Adept. They're moving in towards the center of the map. So they're all moving in towards the center here. It's actually interesting that Zest is the one that's becoming the aggressor, despite how I kind of feel as though he hasn't really done a lot in this early stages of the game. Feels as though this is the sort of game that's been going ByuN's way, with his defense and so on earlier. Let's see how this continues. Again, this Warp Prism over to the left-hand side. As we just see the Warp Prism sat waiting, Viking here ready to pick it off. A little bit of a skirmish in the center of the map. Stalker's finding the rest of this Terran army. Just trying to get a little bit of damage done as it begins to move across here. I mean, if you can pick off a Cyclone or something, that'd be a big deal, because Cyclones do a lot of DPS. So you can pick these off when they're on their own, rather when they're in the middle of the army. That would be a big benefit, as we do see those drop coming in. Again, I mean, there's an auto turret already in position, though, so what are you meant to do? Auto turret in position with this Raven, he just gets pushed back instantly. Zest pulling his own Stalkers back a little bit as well right now. Forge and 3 more gateways continuing to build here. The Colossus starting to come out as well. Extended Thermal Lance starts up as well. And that +1 armor upgrade also just starting to come on down. So +1 armor coming on down here. Warp Prism is moving through the south side. I'm going to be looking to try and, again, drop down and do a little bit of damage here and there. Liberator to the far right side of ByuN is not really finding an opportunity to get too much done, and we're getting to this sort of stage of the game where actually both players are sort of just stabilizing into their very standard mid-game compositions. The Terran players getting set up into a nice amount of ByuN units. The Zest is setting up into a kind of a decent amount of kind of Colossi. He's got Archons and Immortal. You know, he's got, you know, setting up into everything he needs really. As we're going to see a few sentries continue to warp in as well. Forge on the way up here now from Zest. So Forge on the way up from Zest is just going to enable him to get into some upgrades, play a little bit of catch-up, because he is behind on upgrades for now. Last game he did go double Forge, and that's something which kept him a little bit ahead on upgrades actually for quite a while, and did create some fights for him where he did have that upgrade lead to work with, which was very beneficial. Liberator got shut down by the group of Stalkers. Good response here by Zest, shutting down that Liberator before he can get much done. Still, the army of ByuN is terrifying right now. A lot of Widow Mines, tanks mixed in as well, and a good amount of Marine and Marauder ready to stim at that Protoss army. So it's a scary composition for Zest to play against. He'll be a little bit concerned about this right now as this push comes forward. ByuN going to lose one Widow Mine initially. And continue to push on forwards. Well, let's see what else is going to happen as we're going to be seeing the units still moving around. This guy coming down on top of the army once again. A few more depths warping in. Can Zest find a way to fight this? It's going to be difficult. Actually, could warp into DT and maybe send it to... I guess there's a Raven, right? That's actually makes the Raven such a good thing, because you can't just use the DTs to kind of instigate a fight, or kind of force the scan initially and pick up a couple of units for free. It's an awkward position for Zest to fight in, because he's fighting almost down the choke point into his opponent here. As now ByuN sieging up in a forward location. Zest has to be very patient about this, I feel. Oh, he's just going to go for it. I mean, be very patient / go ASAP. They both kind of have their benefits, but the PDDs come down. That's going to soak a lot of the Stalker shots here. The tanks are doing so much damage to Colossi as well, and that is a pretty big deal. However, Zest's going to get rid of both the tanks, or all three of the tanks here in the end, and he is able to push this back. He loses a bit, blinking forwards. He's going to go for that Raven kill. Could he kill it? Yes, he does. Costs him that Stalker that was leading the charge, but picking off the Raven is nice. I mean, we saw how much of an effect it had. Those two PDDs soaking up so much damage throughout that engagement. You're going to see reinforcements coming forward from ByuN, and well, that's a position I don't think Zest can fight, and I think he has to back away right now. Colossus starting micro around the Warp Prism, saving the Immortal here as well. In fact, Zest holds this position in the center. Great micro. I thought this Immortal died, but it got lifted by the Warp Prism. Now there's just two Liberators set up over here. As you can see, ByuN going for a larger drop. And you're going to see Zest is just going to push forward. He'll get rid of these Liberators nice and quickly. So, Liberators go down. Big drop from ByuN around the right-hand side, though. As Zest pushes forwards, Zest, again, is kind of playing from what feels like behind early, but he's got really good engagements to make things happen. He's going to pull away. Oh, no, he's going to base trade it. That's going to be interesting. Now, he does have DTs on his side. That's one of your best friends when it comes to a base trade as a Protoss player against a Terran. I mean, base trading a Terran player is scary. It's not necessarily always the best idea, but it might be. It might work out. I mean, the DTs are definitely a good option. You just need to try and make sure he shuts down the orbitals, because if the orbitals have scans, then these DTs that are currently warping in are not going to do a lot. And now he's going to lose his Dark Shrine as well. Yeah, this is going to be tough for Zest. He's going to move on over towards the third base. He's actually going to see that his opponent's already evacuating that third base away. SCV is going to start getting shut down over here. Well, this is intriguing. I'm going to see the DTs fighting over here, picking up a couple of units. So it's going to have a little bit more to warp in down here. He's going to warp in a few more depths. 41 SCVs have gone down. I mean, Zest hasn't really lost many probes yet. It doesn't matter if he's massively oversaturated. He's actually just going to sit down over here with the main army now. He's already lost a lot, though. As these Stalkers will, of course, go for the Medivacs. Blinking forwards. He gets two of them. Going for the third one as well. He wants to make sure that very few of these units are going to be able to get away. Okay, so the recall back home from Zest as the play to try and make this happen as he blinks forwards onto a Widow Mine. Unfortunately, he's trying to shut down the Medivac still. He can still get this here, and he is still going to get this as he will shut down the last Marauder as well. Nice lift to save the Stalker from the concussive shell shot. Oh man, Zest and ByuN are giving us some absolutely ridiculous games number now, but game number 2 starting to go in favor of Zest. I mean, he's still mining from this base on his natural. I mean, I guess the problem is that ByuN already has another CC ready to go. He's only on 9 SCVs, though, against the 31 probes. Let's look at this income tab, and let's have a look to see. Is Zest currently in favor? But that will go up for ByuN as, because he doesn't mine anything at all right now, because he's actually lifted his main base orbital to the natural, which is an interesting choice. Here we go, a little bit of a fight as Zest needs to make sure he's not too far forwards. Time Bomb coming down, but he's being chased, and Colossi are going to start going down as well here in a moment, perhaps. He has to be very careful about this, as he's trying to keep on pulling backwards. Widow Mine's going off. Actually, Zest still stays alive. I just can't believe that Zest units aren't dying in some of these battles. Like, it really looks as though some of these fights should be just, over. Should be just going the way of the Terran player and that's it. But, I mean, one Colossus falls there. I could have very easily have seen 2 or 3 Colossi going down, but the damage output is still good as he pulls this one. Colossus back again. Great micro, and with that, ByuN doesn't have anything left. GG. Zest is going to take a 2-0 lead in this best of... For the people who are supporting the stream as we go into ByuN Zest game number 3. Don't think I've... You know what? I think I've probably said this once in my life before in the OSC Championship Finals. This is the second time I'm probably ever going to say this. To the bottom left side of the map, our blue Terran player who's down by 2 games is ByuN. What? Down by 2? ByuN? Can't believe it. And to the top right hand side, our pink Protoss player. Zest? I mean, is it Zest? When did Zest suddenly become an absolute god again? I thought Zest was tilting, I thought Zest was slumping, I thought he wasn't playing very well lately. And now he's 2-0 up against ByuN in the grand finals of today's WardiTV Weekly. And again, $230 on the line. We just calculated before, it's about what? It's like 171 $170, I think he goes away with if he wins this. So that's not bad work. $171 if he can win this right now. Let's find out if he can. We are setting on up into Overgrowth. See if Zest can. I always like it to have longer series. It's much better for the stream. Obviously, I can run more ads and sell out more. But in a way, I kind of love to see Zest just 3-0 ByuN. Can you imagine Zest 3-0 ByuN? Like, that doesn't even make sense in my head in a lot of ways, you know? It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. Alright, anyways, we set up into this and let's see what's gonna happen. ByuN Zest game 3. And it's Zest, I just can't, I keep saying it to try and convince myself that it's actually true. It is indeed best of 5. Tutanchemon asking in the chat. As we just see this probe just going to have a scout around. Having a little bit of a look to see what's going on. So probe just having a little bit of a look around here. Early mothership core is coming out as well. Reaper comes in. Zest is able to turn this away. Of course, the last game started off with that crazy. We actually had 2 games start off in very interesting ways. Like the first game, it took a little bit of a while to get interesting, but it still became interesting when Zest was struggling to take a 3rd base. Last game was interesting because both players were kind of one base for a while, and Zest couldn't take his natural because his barracks blocked, and it was all over the place. It was all over the place. Anyways, we're going to be seeing this Twilight Council and Robo Facility dropping down here from Zest early on. We're going to be seeing this starport just building up here as well. And it's going to be seeing Cult Marines, Widowmine, and Medevac about to pop, so very standard opening here from ByuN, just looking for some Widowmine / Marine base drop pressure to, well, pressure in the early stages, see what's happening to set up in towards the mid game with. As we're going to be seeing a couple more gates just building up right now from Zest. Twilight Council is about to finish as well. As Twilight Council finishes up, we're going to be seeing this Observer from Zest is about to pop out as well. And we're going to be seeing the Blink upgrade starting on up. So Blink does start over here. Reaper from ByuN is going to be continuing to move around. So we're just moving around right here. Going to see this Observer is having a little bit of a look to see what is going on. Nothing too crazy just yet, though. As we're going to be seeing again, it's just this early medevac drop to come across towards the upper right hand side. So just dropping up here. Going to start unloading. And he's just going to be starting to push on forwards, and well, we're going to start talking down the mothership core. So a bit damage done there. Going to get the Widowmine towards the ramp. Observer is out, right? So he should be able to deal with this without too much of an issue. We also have a Widowmine towards the natural, which he shuts down nice and quickly. And again, just a couple of overcharges actually already used here. Widowmine will load up as these units come forwards. ByuN knows he's not going to get much more done with this, so he backs away. Good control by both. Was this second overcharge necessary? I think is my biggest question. Perhaps. It kept the mothership core very safe, I suppose. So it's okay, it works out. Anyways, we're going to be seeing the Stalkers coming in towards the top side. We're going to be seeing the Liberator just getting pushed away. We're going to see a few Marines and a Widowmine just moving around the right hand side as well. Lifting up, seeing where else this is going to go. We're going to see this Warp Prism burn down the left hand side. Two Forges on the way up from Zest of Robo Bay as well. Just going to be seeing these few Stalkers and Adept just trying to trade against these few Marines. So just trying to do a little bit of damage. Zest applying pressure early on, as we are going to be seeing this this initial setup here, just again establishing nothing too crazy really. And we wait to go in towards the mid game. ByuN with +1 attack on the way on his engineering base. Stimpack, his combat shields upgrading now as well at the moment. 1-1 coming in for Zest, as we're going to be seeing the Colossus is on the way up. So Colossus on the way out right now. A few more gateways coming into play. Still just wait to see what is next. There's a big load up here actually from our Terran players, so quite a few units going to go for the triple drop around the side. Zest again is kind of going back to what he did on Varney Research Station, the double forge, the very late third base, with extra gateways coming up early, so 6 gates to protect with early, and then the third nexus coming down. So making sure he's in a very good position, very safe position before the third nexus comes down, making sure he's going to have plenty of units to work with. So Liberator just set up here as well, going to start moving through. He's going to get intercepted by Stalkers instantly, so that's going to get shut down here. ByuN loses it. Medevac's flying through, and Observer Zest sees it. He whoops in Stalkers already. Colossus will change direction. Overcharge is ready to go as well. And there's really not a lot that can be done here, I don't think. ByuN will have to just lift up, back away. Nothing he can do. A few more units dropping off over here as he's going to try and maybe pick up some damage onto one of those Medevacs. Going to try and pick one of those off, but the reality is there's just too many units already in position and unloaded, so they are going to get pushed back here. And we're going to be seeing the concussive of shells now starting from our Terran player as well. Third CC is building alongside the 4th and 5th barracks, so continue to set up into this. Stalkers coming through here, picking off a Marine and Medevac. Actually gets caught by the blinking Stalkers, so Stalkers picking off one of those Medevacs there. And we are going to be seeing ByuN just chasing down that Stalker getting chased away here. We're going to be seeing these rest of these units from Zest continue to come in together as well. So joining up just out the front, and these Zealots and the Sentry are going to be coming in at the front of the natural expansion. Again, Marines and Marauders collecting together towards the right hand side. Still looking to see what they can get up to. I mean, it's one of these positions again where actually really it's kind of weird because actually for the first time in this series, I feel as though Zest isn't playing from behind in the early stages of the game, and so I feel as though Zest is in a very scary position. He's up in upgrades, 2/2 on the way for himself. He's got multiple Colossus. I don't know, a couple of Widow Mines up the left-hand side, 3 more Marines and Marauders joined together. Seeing where else he can go. Stepping forward, we're going to see one pylon picked off from a distance, and I mean, the thing is, Zest can rotate around to defend this quite easily. He's already getting into a nice little position to deal with this, as we see more tanks sieging up. ByuN obviously trying to come in this direction. He's split up his army, he's actually looking to go towards the natural at the same time. Zest splitting up his own army to help defend this. As well, this push getting a bit more serious towards the third base. I'll start defending this. Zest also pushing this away though at the same time to the right side. So Zest is also in multiple locations. He's saying, hey, okay, you're ByuN, you're in multiple locations all the time. So am I. As he comes forward here, he's going to blink away from the Widow Mine shot, and now he's going to commit forwards with one of the Widow Mines being used up already. A few more Marines and Marauders pushing forwards here, just walking forwards though, not really looking to attack, I don't think. They're going to be intercepted by the rest of these units, and again, Zest, very patient fights, just not overcommitting into anything, just taking the fights when he knows he can. You can see this is a little bit awkward over here. Maybe he doesn't have enough, as this Colossus is looking to be okay, actually. He's actually chasing away to the left side as well as we speak, so it's actually looking completely fine here for Zest as he picks off both of these Liberators as well. And again, it's so difficult to do this, to attack on multiple sides of the map while also harassing his opponent. And now Zest is kind of wrapping around ByuN's army, and ByuN's army is taking a lot of damage. And Zest is going to keep on chasing. Medevac's going down. This army is going to be very low health, and well, I mean, Stalkers blink forwards to cause a fight once again. There's only one Medevac to heal, and that's honestly right now not really enough, as Zest is up 30 supply. ByuN has been losing SCVs. Zest's engagements have been incredible. He's been absolutely insane. He's been engaging from this position here to over there, then over here still fighting, and then over there as well. And he's been all over the place. It's been absolutely insane as Zest is, up 50 supply. He's just killed off the third base as well while we're talking about what he just did back at home. This has been an incredible few moments from Zest, as you're going to be seeing these Colossi continue to push forwards. Marauders taking a little bit more damage. And this is more or less going to be game. I mean, ByuN's going to try and take a fight, but what's he do to take a fight in this position right now? GG. Zest is going to 3-0 ByuN.